So we're back up to the start. Hello from me, Martin Cross, and thanks very much to Sarah Cook for commentary with Adam Freeman-Pask, who remains alongside me for this heat of the Temple Challenge Cup. Brookes University on the far side of the course. They are racing in the burgundy colours, and this side it's Yale University, the Bulldogs. That's the name that this university goes by in the States. It's a lightweight crew, but they have been in fantastic form this season, and particularly at this regatta. So with Yale University on the right of your screen, Oxford Brookes on the left, very much the favourites, the heavier crew, one would suspect the stronger crew, and technically I think very impressive throughout this season.
Yeah, it's a very strong Oxford Brookes crew, this, isn't it? But it's also an undefeated US lightweight crew, this, as well.
Not quite undefeated. I think they lost at the IRAs to Columbia, actually, although they won the Eastern Sprints lightweights, Pasky.
That's true, although they don't always see that as their key race. But yeah, you're right. But it's Brookes already. Brookes have got canvas here.
Yeah, and they've got that great draw on the close side of the course, just in the back, a little bit of shelter, perhaps a little less stream early on, and they're going to maximise that advantage, aren't they?
It's like the crowd can whisper in their ear from that side, isn't it?
Henry Ballashwed, their coach, what would you have told them about this race, Adam?
I think one of their sayings is it doesn't have to be pretty, and I think, well, actually, they look very good here, to be honest, but it's all about getting the work on and getting it done, isn't it? And that's what they're going to be doing now.
So Yale, the Bulldogs closest to you, they will know that Brookes are the stronger crew, and I guess the tactics of that crew and their coach Andy Card is going to have said to them, look, keep in contact off the start. The heavier boys might have an advantage, but mid-course pace is good, you row really well, and it's been a fantastic season, so just hang in there and see what happens through the middle.
Asked John in the bow seat of the Brookes boat from Norway. It's his birthday today. So
well, I'll tell you what, I slept with him early this season. That might be a revelation, but
really?
Back from the Varese World Cup where he was racing from Norway in the lightweight men's single, the flight was delayed, and they said, you know, EasyJet said,
go book a room somewhere.
Well, anyone wants to pair up, you can have a hotel room. This was past midnight, so him and me sort of hooked up and never looked back, really.
Jesus, I wasn't expecting that, Martin, but yeah. Oh, he's definitely doing a good job here. He's got birthday strength today.
OK, so us, Tom, he's in the crew on the right, the Norwegian bowman. It's Brookes on the right of your screen, the Bulldogs from Yale on the left. The Brookes 8, coached by Henry Ballashwed, have had a fantastic season. They just changed their order, Adam, from the crew that raced on the Bosman in Nearhouse, and they've moved James Stanhope into the stroke seat. Previously, I think it was who was in the Rob Massey, I think, might have been the stroke of that crew, but they've moved the order around, and that's had a really big effect, hasn't it? Got Morgan Boulding back in the 6th seat too. I think that's made a massive difference.
They were a good crew before, weren't they? They won the 8's Head this year in the UK, and that was a phenomenal result. And now obviously James Stanhope, you know, stroking the boat, doing a great job from a very good rowing family as well. Richard Stanhope, back in the Olympic 8, won silver in Moscow.
I have to say, James Stanhope was taught really well history at school, Hampton School.
Of course he was.
I was his old history teacher in the 3rd year, so there's a lot of boys in this boat that are really good, and also Swarbrick in the 3 seat of the Brookes boat, another Hampton boy. So
good calibre of education then, obviously.
I think so, but they go up to Brookes and they get this fantastic tutoring from a brilliant high-performance centre in how to make a boat go fast, how to get the best out of your body.
That's what they're doing now, isn't it? Definitely. 5 of those guys in the under-23 8 last year that came 6th at the under-23 Worlds. They'll be looking to get their selection into one of those boats again this year, and looking to convert that to a medal, hopefully.
How much of a difference do you think it's had to get Morgan Boulding back in the 6th seat of the Oxford Brookes? He's sort of 1, 2, 3 back from the Cox, if you're looking. I mean, he's had that back injury, but he was stroking the boat at the head, but now he's gone back in the middle of the boat.
Yeah, like you said, if he's coming back from injury, it's probably quite a nice place to be, sort of still influencing the ribbon, but not, you know, not too much pressure on him, so he can, you know, add his magic, but not be too sort of dependent on the setting the rhythm.
So if you're watching this on YouTube in the States, we hope you're enjoying this fantastic Saturday at Henley Regatta. Bulldogs from Yale, they had a great Henley last year. The Bulldogs beat Washington in the final of the Ladies' Plate in that fantastic contest, one of the most watched races of the regatta on YouTube. I think almost 40,000 hits that race has had.
Wow.
And, well, the lightweights have had a fantastic regatta. I think they've rode brilliantly, the Bulldogs from Yale, but up against this Brookes crew, who are one of the favourites for this event. I guess they're going to go head-to-head, possibly with the Dutch crew, Neerhuis, who are the other favourites on the different side of the draw.
So, Martin, you know I'm obviously a big fan of the lightweight crews, and obviously it's great to see this lightweight. Andy Cards' lightweight crew from Yale here racing. Obviously, two lightweight crews to win the Temple. The Princeton back in 2009 and Yale back in 2000. But it's looking Brookes today, isn't it? Brookes are looking very strong.
Do you know what? I think the heavyweights now, I have to say, they row now more like lightweights. You know, about 10, 15 years ago, the heavyweights would be smacking it into the catch, quite aggressive. But I think they just allow the front end to breathe. You can see the Brookes, they're getting a lot on it, but they still are quite cultured the way they put the blade in.
They are, aren't they? They're turning the deck, the movement of the weight up and down the boat isn't really knocking the back end of the stern. If you look at the very tip of that yellow boat, it's not jumping around that much, is it, for those, considering how big these boys are?
That's a great shout. And why do you think that is? Do you think that there's more unity in rowing technique? It used to be that lightweights move the boat by sweeping it along, and if you were heavyweight, you just smack it, use your power, but that doesn't seem to be the case now.
Yeah, and actually, looking at the lightweight crew, they're actually probably doing more of the sort of smacking than the Brookes boat, if I'm honest.
A little bit short, but they've got to do something. I mean, when you're under so much pressure in a race like this, you have to pull something out of the bag and hope it happens.
That's right. You've come this way, you've come to Henley, you don't want to go out, you're going to throw everything at it now, and that's what they're doing, isn't it? They're just redlining it from as far out as they can.
So you can see Harry Brightmore, the cox, just checking as he passes the steward's enclosure of the Oxford Brookes boat. He knows his boat's in command. He knows they're going to go on to win this semi-final, barring a major incident. There's only just 10 strokes to go.
Yale throwing everything at it now just to try and get some overlap back on this Brookes boat.
So how much do you think the Brookes boat it took out of them? Do you think they could ease off at all towards the end from the lightweights from Yale?
It looks under control, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks pretty under control.
They're not even stopped, they're just paddling in as well, aren't they?
Do you think they're sending a message to Neerhuis? They've just kind of done a wind down, really, and I think Harry Brightmore said, yeah, just keep it going, boys.